Hi, this is Fountain, and today I'm going to talk about a topic that a viewer had requested for me to do so, and they'd been asking what sort of stretches do I do, and that was in relation to my video that I made about dance as a form of medicine, and I can leave a link in the description box below if you'd like to check that one out. And I thought I'd better go more into that because stretching your body is obviously really good for you, but also there's a lot of different types of body movements that I like to do, so I thought I might as well share them all here in this vlog for those that are interested or want some kind of like inspiration around getting out and moving their own bodies, and also finding things that work for them when doing that. It doesn't have to be like at a gym. There's lots of different ways that you can find to move your body, and it doesn't even have to be like lifting weights or running. It can really vary as to what you really like and what you really enjoy. So yeah, I guess you could say I've been moving my body on a regular basis through, I guess some would call it like exercise, since I was about 15, for a couple of different reasons then. And those reasons have kind of changed, and there's much more purposes and intentions as to why I do it now. And I must say it definitely helped a lot when I was a teenager, with a lot of my mental health. Not that I said that I was sick or anything, but I found I definitely had a lot of growth in a lot of areas around my mental health, and even some of my emotional health when I was, first sort of got into running. And it also really helped me stay healthy in a lot of other areas in my life. Like I was much less likely to drink alcohol if I was gonna sort of set a goal of running or something the next day. So yeah, and I have had a little bit of a history of, I guess, taking the exercise thing a bit too far, in the sense that it was really ruling my life at some points in my life. And I don't feel like it's something that I grapple with very much now. Like if I don't move my body every day in some form, I definitely feel different, and I don't like that. But I don't do it because of some kind of aesthetic reason, if that makes sense. So obviously, moving your body, why is it important? Well, science will probably tell you many physical, mental and emotional benefits from it. I also really like it because it really engages your heart. It's really good, obviously, expanding your comfort zone, and it's also really good for releasing emotions, as I kind of mentioned before. And I also find it's a really good way for me to connect with my body, and depending on the activity, it also has some spiritual benefits to me, I've found as well. I prefer to do as much of the exercise in no shoes, if possible. And depending on the climate and obviously the privacy, I like to do it as with very little clothing as well. Just gives me more of that expansion that I really like. So yeah, I run, jog, whatever you want to call it. I do that about 3 times a week, and I prefer to do my body movements in the morning. I have found them much more, that just works for me, to put it simply. I find the morning thing is just more my thing than doing it late in the day. I like getting up in the morning and then going and moving the body and kind of getting back into this suit, should we say. Yeah, and I would normally run, jog, whatever you'd like to say, for about an hour at a time. I do have a route that I go that I run with no shoes. There's lots of other ways that I could, other places I can run, but I really like this route because I've found that most of it I can do it pretty easily without having to wear shoes, which is really nice. And I like the no shoe thing because it can be a lot more grounding, and I really enjoy that, and I'm wanting some more of that in my experiences of late. And then maybe about twice a week I do more sort of high intensity sort of resistance, maybe a little bit of weights, and I'll usually do that at the house. Once again, don't really need to wear shoes. Obviously I'm not going to recommend that you don't wear shoes and then try and go to a gym, or I don't take responsibility if you're going to drop something really heavy on your foot, that maybe shoes might have minimized the pain that caused. or maybe the shoes give you some kind of grip that you need. I'm not here to make any kind of recommendations. I'm just saying what works for me and what I really enjoy. And if I don't do that, I might do some stair kind of sprints. So there's a couple of places I can go for that. There's one really good spot right next to the river where I live, where I'll often also take my flute down, and so after I do my sprints I'll do a meditation by the river and play my flute. So yeah, that's always a really nice way to finish it off. And then often with these I'll listen to music or podcasts. Sometimes I won't listen to anything. Maybe I just want to be more present with what's going on in my body, in my mind, in my emotions as well. But though I do find sometimes the podcasts are really good because it's inspiring, and music can be really good for changing sort of frequency as well within my field, if you could say. And I guess main other thing that I do is yoga, which I just do at the house or wherever I am. Most weekends I'll end up doing the yoga, and I might not necessarily be at home and during the weekend. So depending on the privacy, I'll probably often do yoga like with no clothes on if I can, but it's not a big deal if I need to wear clothes either. It's just I find it really good to get more into my body, but also have a lot of spiritual things that I experience around with yoga, and I often like doing yoga with the intention of some kind of healing or some kind of ritual of some kind, which is always really nice. And I'm learning some different modalities at the moment too, so incorporating that in my own yoga, healing, meditation stuff at the end is always really good. And then I guess another one that pops up for me regularly, but it's not something that I'm like, I try to do, X amount of times a week or whatever, it's dance. And I often find that shows up, whether it be dance for 5 minutes or I go to some kind of event where I get to dance. It's something that I really like doing, and I really like moving my body with dance. I find often I do it, obviously, as some kind of intuitive healing, ritualistic kind of purposes. It's not necessarily always for performance, and I find that really enjoyable, and I'd highly encourage you to find some ways to move your body that you really enjoy, even if it's just going for a walk in your neighborhood, or maybe you like swimming. There's so many other ways that you can move your body. I know some people prefer to do things on their own. Some people feel like they really need to go to like some kind of gym and be held accountable. I know some people like doing things in teams, and so they're into team sports. So it's about really finding what sports suit you and what kind of experiences that you're wanting to get from that kind of activity. And so I hope that answered the question. And obviously I do a lot of stretching before I do any of these things. Yoga involves a lot of stretching. I find the way I move with dance, often it'll start out a particular way where I'm actually kind of stretching my body. And once again, if you can't find that you can do you find that you can't do a lot of strenuous activity, I'd recommend stretching the body once a day, every day if possible, in lots of different ways. And you can find lots of recommendations. Obviously, if you've got some kind of physical injury, you might want to seek some professional kind of guidance around how you can move particular parts of your body that's not going to cause you more discomfort or some kind of damage in the long run. So if you want to know some more, you're welcome to leave that in the comment section down below. And I am also on various other social media platforms, which you can also find in the description box below.